I have absolutely no patience. Why is there two of those? What in the world? I have no patience right now. I'm in some mood. I had to. So in school, I'm gonna get to this in a second, but today was a crappy day. I ended up I do the thing that I do every morning. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I had to go to uh the career center where I learn construction trades for my career in the future, and that's what I'm doing in the future, I guess. I don't even know, but I have to go there every day from like 8 to like 10:30. But a bus takes me there, so I have to wake up at 6. The bus picks me up at like 8, and then and then I don't even know. It's all weird. Or bus picks me up at 7 actually. I get up at 6. Bus picks me up at 7. I get there at 8. Have class till 10:35, and then a bus takes me back to the school where I was just at, and then another bus takes me back to my actual high school, where I have to then walk from. And by this point, it's like 11:15, 11:20. I have to walk to the library, which is like a library that's a few minutes away from the school. It's not a very long walk, but it's 90 degrees outside where I live, so it's not fun. And then I had to go to the library where I have to stay for hours on end because my parents work and nobody is there to come pick me up. I don't drive on my own, so I'm there till like 4. So I'm there for like 4 or 5 hours. Usually it's 3, but I had to be there till 4 because of an open house we're having at my school. Half of my day, because this it like the construction class goes into school, so I'm doing that for the first half of my day, and then I go back to my actual school for the second half of my day and do regular boring classes in a classroom. Well, since I don't drive, I had to wait till 4, which is an hour longer than I usually have to wait to get picked up and be taken to a my high school open house. And I am in special ed. I'm a special ed kid. I'm not retarded or anything. I'm slower. Like it's not to the extreme or anything, but it's like I have some comprehension issues, some problems paying attention, and that's it. Really doesn't change like who I am at all. But like sometimes people have to explain things to me a second time. Something that's maybe really simple, they have to say it again. That's really all it is. But that also means that I'm not very good at some things. I don't remember. I don't have a great memory. So things need to be told of me multiple times for me to understand it. So the only thing I really am good at knowing about is football. So I had to go there, and we had an open house. But my schedule, we get a schedule to show us all of our classes. I couldn't get my schedule at the regular desk where everyone else is because I'm not normal. I am special, aren't I? So I had to go. So I went up there. I go. So I'm gonna get to this in a second, but I want you guys to hear this because I'm frustrated. But I went up to the desk where you're supposed to get your schedule. I'm a junior this year. So it should say that I should go to the line where it says junior with last name L through Z because my last name is between L through Z. And I go up to that line and I grab and I tell them my name and they give me my schedule. Well, the girl who's working up there, I guess she's in student council or something. She's like, she's like, what's your name? And I was like Ethan, and yeah, I said my full name, Ethan Richardson, and she was like, what is it? And I said it again, and then she's like, what? And I was like, you're deaf. And I said it even louder than the second time, which was basically shouting. And then she heard me. Then she was like, I don't have it. Go talk to the guidance counselor. I was like, where the heck's the guidance counselor? She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Shouldn't you know? So then I walk away to go find the guidance counselor. And then I walked up to and then my mom showed up and they asked the girl again. I already told my mom that she didn't know. So then she said, I would go talk to this teacher, which is a teacher I've had. So I walked down to where her class is, since I know where it is, and I asked her, do you know where my schedule is? And they told me, go down to this teacher and ask her because she has all the special ed kid teachers or special ed kid schedules. So I walked down. I don't even know what she looks like, or I can't remember what she looks like. So I walk all the way down there, and I had to, ask her, and then she said, well, maybe you were held back a year. No, I was not. I was not held back a year. I know for a fact I'm a junior, and I was like, I even looked in the sophomore line. They don't have it. So she was like, huh, go to the office then. So I go to the office, and they tell me, and then they print out a copy of it, and it has my actual schedule on there with the where I'm going to be for the first half of the day plus my 3 other classes. And then they said, well, we have a problem with your schedule. You don't have a locker or a combination. We don't know what that is yet. And I was like, well, doesn't everyone else have it? They're like, yes, but you don't. What do you mean I don't? Why don't I have one but everyone else does? I don't get this. I didn't have a locker combination. I didn't have a locker number. It said on there that I was a sophomore, which I'm not. So the whole thing screwed up and retarded. And so I go to the construction trade class of the first half of the day. I come back to the school. I have lunch. And then I have 2 like special ed classes, which makes no sense. One of them is called English 11 skills or something like that. Like I'm having a junior class for English, but skills, I don't know what that means. And then the next hour is transition, which I don't know what transition is, but it's with another special ed teacher. So I have 2 classes with that are special ed while I'm there for 2 out of the 3 hours I am in a special ed class. And then 7th hour, which is the last hour of the day, I have a history class, a geography class, or not a history class, a world history or world geography, whatever. And that was the only class I didn't know where it was. I figured out where it was. So the whole thing is just stupid. The whole thing is just stupid. I don't know where my locker is, and they said that I would know by tomorrow. I guess they're mailing it. I don't know. But that's what's going on. So because I'm special and different, they had to get it all mixed up and make it confusing. And then my brother's going into the same school. He's going to become a freshman, so he's going into high school. So we had to try and find his classes too. He also had a freshman orientation where they just introduce all the characters. Jeez, all the teachers in this room, and then they just say, "Okay, go find your classes now." The whole orientation thing's just a waste of time because you just meet all the teachers. More than half of them you won't even know when you're going to high school, and because there's so many teachers, and then the teachers you are going to know, you're going to get to know them over the school year anyway, so it doesn't make any sense. And then they just talk for few minutes to talk about how great the school is, which they say how last year was such a successful year, and I said it was all right. But then really it shouldn't be called freshman orientation. It should just be called freaking introduce teachers and babbling. That's what it should be called. But whatever. I'm done talking about my real life. Let's talk about Michigan football. So I'm sorry, but you probably skipped forward anyway. But so this is I'm just gonna go over this one thing, and then I'm gonna not do any more. This is 5 guarantees for Michigan football this season. My eye is hurting me. Ugh. All right, these are the 5 things that could be what makes or breaks the Wolverines. Now, I don't know if these are really guarantees because I did read through these. I'm not sure if they're necessarily guarantees, but some of these should happen. If they don't, then we have a real problem here. So let's talk about Michigan football, something I actually like. It's game week with the Michigan Wolverines taking on Notre Dame to open the season, which is a far cry from some of the season openers in the past, even with Florida last year. No cupcakes this time around, while most of the rest of the nation opens up against JV football teams. It has been a weird offseason for Michigan, but in a good way. The lack of information has us having a hard time putting our fingers on what this team is going to be, but an offseason without self-hype was needed and could be what the doctor ordered. This is being written with a giant grain of salt, but here are 5 things I think can guarantee the Wolverines this season. This is just a personal opinion, but let's go over this. I'm going to give my opinions on these 2. The quarterback floor is much higher. I do agree with this, actually. A lot of people want to crown Shea Patterson as a Heisman candidate. I don't think he will be, but we'll see. And that's fine. Any good player on a nationally recognized team is going to get that sort of hype, and he definitely has that ceiling. At the very least, Michigan fans should be comfortable that bearing an utter and complete catastrophe, the quarterback room has a much higher floor than what they trotted out there last year. It does not seem as if there was ever truly a quarterback battle this offseason and that Patterson was the guy. But in a scenario where he goes down, you now have a room full of QBs that are 4 and 5-star talents. Brandon Peters was the best QB on the roster last year and is capable. Dylan McCaffrey is a 5-star talent in many people's minds. Joe Milton can throw a pigskin a quarter mile. I can with 100% confidence say that none of those guys are nearly as terrible as what Michigan trotted out there last season with I don't want to say his name, and Wilton Spate. I agree with it. Yes, we do have better chances with our quarterbacks this year. I do think that. My gosh, the ad. Wolverines will have a 1,000-yard rusher. I don't know about this one. I'm not gonna say that Karan Higdon and Chris Evans are not talented enough to do it. I am worried about the offensive line. That is what I worry about, and that's what I say could make it so that's avoided. Like I don't know if that can happen if we don't have a decent enough offensive line. But let's read what he says. Michigan has not had a running back rush for 1,000+ yards since Fitzgerald Toussaint. And I think he's playing for the Steelers now. I'm not sure. Karan Higdon was so painfully close to doing it last year, finishing with 994. That's really close. That's 1 or 2 plays difference. Something blocked better here. A broken tackle there. The key to this lies into the next thing we highlight. But Michigan's backfield has 2 talented guys, and Higdon and Chris Evans have a chance to hit that number. I don't know. I think it's possible, but I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think our offense is going to be worse than last year, so I think we will do it. I'm going to change my mind on that one. Stop interrupting me, people. All right, you guys don't know because I've already tried recording this twice. This is the second time I've recorded this because people just kept coming and interrupting me. I'm not stopping. I'm going to yell at people. Ed Warner will prove to be the hire of the offseason. I'm sorry. I'm in a mood. But I'm going to give you guys content no matter what. Harbaugh had to make some chances to his coaching staff. Thought it all went down in a very strange way. Though it went down in a very strange way. First Dan Enos was on the staff, then he wasn't, and left before his nameplate was even on his office door. Jim McElwain seemed like a strange hire, but he isn't in town now. But the guy that everybody wanted out in Tim Drevno was not fired, but he did resign. That led Ed Warner, widely considered as one of the best offensive line coaches in the country, to be elevated from the analyst position he was hired into being a full-time assistant. He has cranked out NFL caliber offensive linemen and good ones everywhere he has been, most notably recently at Ohio State with 5 guys like Taylor Decker, Pat Elflein, and Billy Price. If anyone is going to finally help Michigan realize its potential in the trenches, Warner should be that guy. Heck, if he gets the line to even just being average to above average, that will be leaps and bounds better than what we've seen in the last 10 to 15 years. The defense will be Don Brown's best, and Ed Warner, I think, yeah. It's basically just saying what I was saying about the offensive line earlier, but yeah. The defense will be Don Brown's best yet. I think they can be. Yeah. Why is Michigan considered a contender for the Big Ten championship with all the questions on offense? It is because they may just have the best defense in all of college football and potentially the best that this coaching staff has had. They only really lost Maurice Hurst and Mike McCray and had stars at every level. Rashawn Gary, Chase Winovich, Devin Bush, Khaleke Hudson, David Long, Lavert Hill are just a few of the names and are all bona fide stars. Look for players like Aubrey Solomon, Michael Dwumfour, and Ambry Thomas to all break out this season too. This unit is going to be so fun to watch and will be what keeps them in position to win every game on the schedule, despite how stacked their opponents are. I think I read somewhere that their defense was the second best. Michigan's defense was the second ranked, right behind Clemson. They said Clemson had the best defense. I don't know. I don't think so. I think Michigan's is the best. That we have to be. There's no way Clemson's is better. Michigan will go 2-1 in its rivalry games. No, I don't think so. I don't want to be negative, but I don't think so. I want to be positive about it, but you just don't know until the season starts. Even after the Notre Dame game, and say we win, say we beat Notre Dame, we beat them by a few points. Maybe we beat them all by a couple touchdowns, or maybe one touchdown, or so whatever. We're still not really gonna know, how good we are after one game, because we don't know how good Notre Dame is. Because I heard Notre Dame lost a lot of good players. But, I have no idea, but we'll see. Rivalry games have been Harbaugh's kryptonite at Michigan so far. Really just big games in general, as the Wolverines have not gone on the road and won against a ranked team since the 2006 season. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's not acceptable. No, it's not. And their 3 toughest games of the year are on the road. That's just great. Starting on Saturday night. Wolverines start in South Bend, and also travel to East Lansing and Columbus this season. So they have their work cut out for them. Michigan's defense should be able to stifle Notre Dame, and the offense should be able to do enough to win that one. So, wait, what did it say? So they have their work cut out for them. Michigan's defense should be able to stifle Notre Dame, and the offense should be able to do enough to win that one. So that leaves splitting at Michigan State and Ohio State at a minimum. It makes fans happy. Harbaugh is 1-0 in East Lansing, but that came during Michigan State's 3-9 season. Though Michigan was the hammer in that game until it took its foot off the gas that same season, they were at a JT Barrett first down away from winning in Columbus. Don't remind me. It's not some Herculean task. They just have to get it done. Their rivalry losses have been self-inflicted wounds. There will be doubts that they can do it until they prove they are not going to shoot themselves in the foot. But this is a prediction here. Anything less really would be disappointing. And that's it. All right. I went on too long about my own personal problems, so thank you guys for watching. I'm going to end it here. And don't forget, I make videos like this a lot. So if you want more, subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.